Hi everyone and welcome so much to this video. How are you guys doing? I wanted to pop on and give you guys some information that I've been receiving. And I have some good news for you. I have finally gotten a new microphone, so I will pretty soon be learning to set it all up because I'm really a disaster when it comes to technology. But it's in my house now and it will be coming up, so there will soon be better sound on my videos, so you guys know that. And thank you to everyone that has been giving me the feedback that there is need of better sound on the videos, because it's really important that you guys receive it well and that you can hear it well. So thank you. I really appreciate all of your guys' comments and everything that you're sharing. So thank you again. This last, couple of week has been pretty expansive, pretty intense, I will say. How has it been for you guys? There's a lot of expansion happening as we are what I've been shown is that we are sort of wrapping up 2022. And this is energetically. So even though on the calendar we will keep running 2022 until the 31st of December, energetically it's starting to shift. And so there's a lot of completions. They've been showing me that there's many people, and I have experienced this for myself as well, that there's a lot of completion with old patterns. There's a lot of insight coming on old patterns that are just sort of bubbling to the surface or being triggered, or that is coming, you can see it suddenly from another perspective, whether that's on a walk in nature, in a meditation, or suddenly when you're just doing something. There's these small epiphanies and this clarity starting to come in. They're saying now that it has been very intense for a lot of people, and it will still be as we're sort of moving through the rest of this month. Now, always take timelines with a grain of salt. Always pay attention to what's in front of you at any moment. The timelines will always be a bit different from person to person. So when they're presenting some sort of a timeline like that, for me, it's the greater collective. So it might be your experience a week before, it might be 2 weeks after, it might differ more than that, and it might not resonate at all. So always, whatever information you receive from the outside, whether that's from me or it's something I have channeled, whether it's from someone else, something you read, always take it back to you, see what resonates, and use your own guidance system. Get in touch with your own guidance system. That's the most important thing right now. It's to really start daring to start taking action on your intuition, starting to follow more and more that inner guidance, even though it might not always make sense for the logical mind. And I'm with you on that. That can be a challenge sometimes. But getting out of our comfort zones, starting to dare to dreaming bigger, and focus energy both, of course, on what is coming up to be released, but really pay attention to how much energy you're focusing on a story of something old and how much you're actually putting into what you want to create. Because it's very, very easy, especially as we are in this sort of a completion type of energy at the moment. And there will be some really fast forward movement and some intensity in the time coming as we're sort of wrapping up what we're in now and we're ready to move forward again. It's important to pay attention to not only then be stuck in that circle of paying attention to your story, because where we keep ourselves sort of blocked or we stop ourselves is just where we attach some sort of a story to some experience. And then when there's something reminding us of that experience, whether that is something we see, something we smell, it can be something physical, a pain in the body, it can be a situation type of a conflict, or something someone says to us, and then we're just running on that old program of a story we created, that when someone says this, it means this, or if my body is doing this thing, it means I have to do this, and all of this is just these old programs running. So if we can pay really close attention to where we are so attached to those old stories, when do those stories start running in your head? When does it start just circling and circling and circling? We can then go, when we have the awareness, when we are conscious and we are observing ourselves all days, when we see that situation and we see that coming up, we can choose to pick ourselves out of the story. Say, that story is no longer me. That story is who I was. That story is not what's going to follow me. Because if we keep running that same story, if we keep doing that same thing or reacting in the same way, and we don't change anything, we don't make any new conscious choice with what we have learned, we're not making any change. So if we want to move forward in life, and we want to have new experiences, and we have learned some lessons, we have grown, we are on this constant path of expansion. We want to apply what we have learned. We want to make those decisions. We want to get more clear. We want to make the choices and take action, which is different than what we have done before. If it's something that you have seen and become aware of, that is something old, that is an old story, which is something you consciously want to leave behind. If you choose that something is your past, and you choose to feel whatever emotion is coming up in your body to be felt in order to just move through, instead of attaching to that emotion, attaching to the story that you're creating around that emotion or that thought, we are letting it move through us and we can move forward. Then we're meeting some sort of situation, we need to make a new choice based on what we learned. So this is something that we need to be really aware of always, but especially in this energy that we're finding ourselves now. This is something that can be helpful to be very mindful of. Now, the second thing I want to mention is I had a channeling from the Sirians, and it's the longest channeling I've ever been in. It was really, really long. So I'm still listening through it, because I'm always recording when I'm doing these channelings, because I don't remember much of it when I come out. But what I initially said in this video about 2022 sort of wrapping up is some of what I talked about in that channeling. Now, I've said before that what I've gotten is that 2022 is the year of coming together. 2023 is what I said back in 2020, is that 23 would depend a lot on how or what choices we have made and how we have been moving through 21 and 22. But the one thing they really highlighted at that time is that 2023 will be a year of technology. New technology is coming. And this is what they talked a lot about, and they've been very present for the last 3 weeks. They keep talking about geometries, about technology in the body, that we're actually going to learn and experience that our bodies are technology. Now, they've said that pretty soon we will start seeing more new technology coming in the collective. This is because we're moving into the energy of 2023. and because we are ready for it. There's a lot of, so some of the first things we will see is in the medical field. So it has to do with providing resources for the body, because we are in a development of looking at the body a bit differently than we have been in especially the Western medicine. So seeing the body more as a whole and starting to work more with frequency and vibration. So first and foremost, it will be light and sound that will be important in the medical field in the time coming. And technologies based on this and how to work with this when it's illness in the body is something that is going to they're starting to show me something. Let me just tune in and see. Yeah, they're showing it to me like a speed train. It's like it's been like steady and slowly, and now it's going to move really fast. So a lot of new technology coming, and that is also some of the reason why we need to clear more in our bodies, why we need to get a new relationship with our bodies, because our bodies are also technology. We're going to see more of that. We're going to start learning to work more with our body, to connect with the organs, with the bodily systems. It's the whole way we look at our bodies are going to change a lot over time, of course. But the more we understand energy, the more we understand frequency and vibration, this is going to be used now, and the technology is ready. So it's just that it's going to come out there to be seen, and that's going to change a lot. Now, another thing which is important as we're moving through whatever we're moving through on an individual level is to, because they've been talking a lot about this, and they're showing it to me again now, that the essence of who you are is abundant, is without any blocks, right? It's your being of light in a physical form. And there's a lot of things being experienced as we move through our lives, and there's a lot of blocks being created in the body, which is basically just something stopping the full flow of energy. And then with some time, that can of course cause something physical to appear, simply because the energy is not moving freely. Now, if we only think of whatever is blocking us, and we only think that it's something mental or a thought pattern, which it is, right? It is emotions, it's thoughts that are blocking whatever we're experiencing, or the energy moving from some sort of experience. But the essence of who you are is in alignment, is abundant. And so if we remember that that's sort of the baseline, it can shift a lot on the way, in the way we're thinking. Because if we, instead of having to fix and figure out and understand and analyze everything in order to be able to pull out whatever is not going to be there, in order to create or fix something, it's a whole different perspective than if we think, you know, I am actually abundant, I am actually worthy, I am in alignment. I just need to rest back into that and take courageous action on what I feel in my intuition. become acutely aware of my thought patterns. Where am I stopping myself? Where am I creating a story that is stopping myself from moving forward? But if we're thinking that thoughts are everything, we are not letting ourselves really reach that frequency where everything is aligned, where everything is abundant. So this is not at all saying that just lean back and relax and don't take action and don't do anything, because you're abundant and you're in alignment and everything is going to go fine. You need to co-create, right? So we need to become aware, like I've been saying now in this video and in previous videos, and to start making new choices, to start to just release things when they're coming up. All of that is really important, but if we have the focus on what's wrong, on what's blocking, and constantly focusing on that, we are just spinning around in that same circle. We need to know, to really know inside, that the essence of who I am is abundant, is in alignment, has the knowing of where I'm going. So if I can trust that, I can work with my thought patterns in a whole different way. If I really know that, I can accept my emotions, whatever I'm moving through, in a whole different way. If I really know that, I can trust myself in a whole different way. I still need to grow. I still need to move through whatever is coming up. But I know that I am not in lack of abundance or alignment in the first place. I am just moving towards, not away from myself towards something else, but I am moving on my own path, clearing whatever shows up to be in the way for more of my energy, more of my essence to move on that path, on that highway of energy that I am. And I know that the more of that energy that I am is moving through me, and the more I don't hold it back, either because of an old story, or because I'm afraid of showing the world who I am, or I'm afraid of what other people might think of me, or I'm afraid of making a mistake. Because when I did a mistake sometime, I have probably created a story around how bad I was making that mistake, and how I screwed everything up by making that mistake. So I'm going to make really sure that I'm never going to make any mistake again. That is an example of that story that we stop ourselves with. If I just open to make a mistake, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go out of my comfort zone. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do my best. And I fail, I can learn from it. And with that, I can move forward even better than before. We need to let ourselves the room to grow. And if we have that trust, knowing that in our essence, we are in alignment, we are in abundance, we are free-flowing energy. We don't need to reach something outside of us in order to come into abundance, come into alignment. We just need to walk every step on the way so that the technology that is the body can really turn on, so that our energy can really flow through the body, and so that we can really move through our lives here, creating what we came here to create, because we are all here to create. And we're going to see this autumn that the creative energy and the sexual energy is going to be talked about a lot more, because people are starting to experience this energy in a whole different way. people are going to become more aware of the power that that energy holds. And because we are more aware, we can have so much more conscious awareness of how we're directing that energy, or what we actually want to create, and that it's coming from the heart space rather than from a mind trying to control something, often based on an old story, an old program. So as we are freeing ourselves from all of this, remember that anything from the outside can be a resource for you and for your body. You are the only one who can decide whether it's a resource or not. You are the only one who can feel the resonance of you. And we're going to need to trust ourselves more and more and more. And we're practicing. And sometimes we're not making the best choice maybe, but then we're learning. And that goes for everyone. Every single being on this planet. Trust you. No matter what. I hope this is helpful for you guys. A lot of energy moving through here. I will be back quite soon, I think, with more information from the channelings. Thank you to everyone who's liking, commenting and subscribing. It really helps getting the messages out there, so please share if you find it helpful. And thank you again to everyone commenting, really appreciating that. I hope you guys are doing well. Take really good care of yourself and have a lot of compassion for everyone around you. And be you. Keep being you, because we're creating lots of change now. It's going to be seen. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye bye.